Hi all, welcome back. My name is Bhushan Kumar and then topic for today's tutorial is dependency injection of primitive data types using constructor. So in previous videos I had explained the need of the Spring framework, right? And used the setter way of dependency injection, right? In this video, I will use constructor to inject the dependency. So I'm going to take a small example. I'll take an example of this student class and we'll create the constructor of this student class and inject the dependencies of the primitive data types, roll number and the name defined inside it. Okay, let me quickly show it. Okay, so let's create a class called student. Okay, so this student has two variables or properties. Call it as roll number and then name. Okay, so let's create the constructor for this. So I'm going to generate the constructor for both of the you know properties. So this is a constructor. I'm not going to generate the setter as we had done in the previous videos, right? So I will generate the only getters. Okay, so I'm just generating the getters, not setters. Okay, so these are two getters and getter methods, and also let's generate the toString method. So let's generate toString method. All right. Okay, so now we will ask Spring to create the object of a student and inject the dependencies of two properties, int and string, right? So how to do that? We will create a class called student application, right? Okay, we'll create a public static void method. Okay, and inside this, okay, so in the previous videos I had used this bean factory interface to create the factory uh, object, right? So there is another factory object which is called as application context. So this application context is also will also give the beans, but it has some more features than this bean factory interface. Okay, so I'm going to use this application context this time, and we use, so the application context is an interface and it has some implementation. So class path XML application context is one of the implementation, and in this we'll pass this spring.xml file. Okay, and then we'll create the object of the student. We will not create, we will just ask from the bean factory or application context to provide us the bean. Okay, so we'll give an ID to this as student. Okay, and then finally let's see what's there. Okay, so it is asking us to convert from object to student, so let's cast it. Okay, so this bean, the bean factory gives us the object type. Now we have converted it to the, like, casted it to the student type. Okay, okay, so let's print this student. Okay, okay, so this student object should print this toString, the content of this toString method, right? Like a student equals roll number and the name which will be assigned to it. Okay, so we have not assigned any value to this roll number and the name. Okay, we have just asked Spring to give us the object. So let's run it. It will not run. Let's see the error first. So it says that Spring says that, okay, you have asked this student, being, I'm ready to give you, okay, but the thing is that you have not given me the configuration. So give me the configuration of this student, then only I'll be able to create the student object for you. Okay, so let's go to this spring.xml and create this bean. Okay, bean id equals, so what is the id we had given for this student? This student. Okay, so let's copy from here and place it here, paste it here, and then class equals count dot stabber dot student, right? Okay, yeah, so we have defined this bean, and this bean has one constructor, right, student. So we want to use this constructor to inject the dependency. So we had already seen the setter way of injecting dependency, so we will use this constructor. That's why we have not defined the setter, only getters are there, right? So I'll use this setter as a constructor. So how to use this constructor way? So if you define the bean using the property, right? So if you had seen the earlier videos, I had done like this: property name equals, and then we had defined the property of this student class, like roll number and name. Okay, so if we want to use this constructor way of injecting dependencies, then we have to use constructor arg. Okay, and then say value equals, so the first one is the roll number. I'm just giving as 1 2 3 4 5 6. Okay, and then similarly, let's close this tag. Similarly, we will pass the value of name. So I'm just giving my name, Bhushan Kumar. Okay, so I think we're done. We earlier Spring was not able to find this bean id student in this spring.xml file. Now we have created this bean, okay, and with id student and given the constructor values. Okay, so roll number is 1 2 3 4 5 6 and the name is Bhushan Kumar. Okay, so let's close this tag. All right. Okay, so let's run it and see the output. It's working, right? So roll number 1 2 3 4 5 6 is getting printed and the name Bhushan Kumar, right? Okay, so did you notice one thing? We have not given the name of the variables, right? If you go to the constructor class, we have not given the name of the variable. We've just given the values, right? We've just given the values 1 2 3 4 5 6. So by default, a Spring follows a sequence. Okay, so whatever comes the first will be assigned to the first variable, okay, or first parameter. Okay, this parameter roll number, and then second one as Bhushan Kumar into the name. All right, so this is clear. Okay, now what if we change the order? Okay, let's see. What if we change the order? Now let's run. So Spring is saying some bad words, right? It is saying that fail to convert value of type string to the int. It is because this Bhushan Kumar is a string and Spring is not able to convert string into the integer, this integer roll number, right? So Bhushan Kumar is being inserted into roll number. The roll number is integer, right? This is wrong, right? A string cannot be converted into the integer. That's why Spring is saying, no, I cannot convert it, right? Spring follows a sequence if you don't mention anything here, right? So now we'll give the hint to the Spring. Okay, we'll say that even though my order is different, okay, but try to understand my intention. This is of type int. Okay, so even the order is different. Okay, so Bhushan Kumar is a string which ideally should get assigned to this integer roll number, right? But I'm just asking the Spring to understand my intention, and says that this is an integer and there are only two parameters for this student, integer and string. So one of them is integer. So though this order is different, like the roll number comes the second, but because of the type, you insert this integer into the roll number and then string to the name, the second one. So this Bhushan Kumar will be inserted into the second parameter string because of the type, and then this roll number because of the type integer will be inserted into the roll number. Okay, here order does not follow. Spring is very intelligent enough to understand our intention. Okay, so now if you run it, it should work. Right, this is working. Roll number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Though the Bhushan Kumar comes first, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is getting assigned to the roll number because of the type. Okay, string is roll number is of integer type. All right. Yeah, and then name Bhushan Kumar is being assigned to the second parameter. Okay, so this is a confusion, right? Just having the value and then having the types. So if we have many parameters of type integer, then let's suppose like we have another parameter with the type integer. I'll not be able to use this right. If I use another integer, then Spring will again come into the confusion, like which parameter, second one to be assigned to the third one or third to the assigned to the second one, right? So to eliminate all this confusion, Spring came up with another property called name. Okay, so we can just remove the confusion. So Bhushan Kumar is a name, right? And then let's remove this type and have the name as roll number. Okay, so you see even the order is different, right? Names comes first and roll number second. Because of this name property, Spring is easily identifying which value to be assigned into which value into the constructor. Okay, so let's run it. This is working, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 being in the second in the sequence. Because of the name, it is getting assigned to the right parameter, right? Okay, so there is a third way of removing the confusion, that is index. Okay, so let's make it as index. Okay, so name is index 1, right? And then roll number is index 0. So though the sequence is different, because of the index, okay, so this one because of the index 0 will be assigned to the roll number first, and then because of this index number 1 it will be assigned to the name. Now if you run it, it is correctly getting assigned, right? So yeah, that's all. Let's conclude this tutorial. So what we have learned the dependency injection through the constructor, right? Earlier we had learned dependency injection using the setter method. Now we in this tutorial or in this video we have learned the dependency injection using the constructor, okay, for the primitive data types. So these are the primitive data types, right? Integer is a primitive data type, string is a primitive data type. Now in the next tutorial I will explain how to inject the dependency using constructor for objects. Okay, thank you for watching.